only start, though, you know.
All right, so the Stars and Jets moving on to face one another in round number 2. That series getting underway on Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern Time. Game 2, Friday, 9:30 Eastern Time before the series shifts to Dallas. Matinee action, 4:30 Eastern Time on Sunday. Should be a fun one in that one. Where do you think these two teams are at emotionally, coming off these Game 7 unbelievable comebacks that we saw on consecutive nights, Saturday and Sunday? A couple of days to maybe get those emotions back in check. But what do you think Game 1 looks like on Wednesday night?
Well, if it's anything like some of these other games we saw, a little bit of a chess match, perhaps, if only because that's not uncommon. The first round, everybody believes they've got a chance, right? Absolutely. And they do, because the first round, especially if you get a hot goalie, we all know what can happen there. Big-time upsets, we've seen it for the most part last couple of years. However, these teams are coming off epic, not just awesome, but epic Game 7s. Epic third period and overtime of Game 7 that happened, I know it's a funny word to use, organically, meaning you can't replicate it. You can't all of a sudden, Torch, tell yourself, you're going to be the same level come period 1 of Game 1 of round 2. Just isn't going to happen. So I think, long way of getting to, I think it's going to be more of a, all right, we know we're going to be in it. Let's see what our opponent's about here. Let's build it up. You don't have that animosity, that hatred or anything, but it'll get going probably by the end of the game, if not Game 2.
Yeah, especially the Jets. They played some big minutes. Like Pionk had 46 minutes in a double overtime, so it's rest, hydrate, and recover. But they're going to have to get involved pretty quick here. But one thing for them is they're lucky the game's at home, so they had no travel. But two big series, like you said, epic, legendary. Probably one of the best weekends I've ever watched hockey working here at the network. So it was pretty exciting. So I just think overall, both teams are going to have a feel-out first period, and then the engines will get going because they know where they're going next. You go to the conference finals. So you got to, you can't be giving up a free game here, so you better be ready.
Be interesting to see how physical it is. And that's part of the intensity part, right? Yeah. Because, I guess, especially that St. Louis-Winnipeg series, holy smokes, was that physical.
Does the physicality favor one of these two teams in this matchup more so than the other one?
Maybe the healthier team.
Yeah, I guess. But that's a big thing, right? It's a war of attrition. The deeper you go in these playoffs, and injuries always play a big storyline, and it feels like, Torch, that Dallas might be on the better side of that just because we know that they're getting bodies back that they didn't have in round number 1. Sounds like Robertson is closer than Haskin at this point. Maybe we see Robo in game number 1. On the flip side, you got some big boys out and no real timetables for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, so you look at that line that he was practicing on today. It's a big line. You have Ben and Marchment. That whole line is 6'3". Then you got Rantanen with Hintz. They're 6'3". I mean, they've got some big forwards. And guess what? They can skate. I mean, those guys can really skate that puck and carry it through the neutral zone. So I'm looking forward to it. With the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, they got some big bodies back there that can be physical on them. So I'm looking forward to the matchup.
That potential loss of not having Mark Scheifele, though, is gigantic.
Yeah. Number one center.
Number one center. You brought up Hintz already, right? You have Wyatt Johnston, who's not big physically, but he is big presence out there. He is a big-time gamer. That's what he's all about. 3 Game 7 goals already in his first 3 games of his career. Love what the kid does out there. So you need Scheifele. The good news is he's been skating, right? And he was out there for practice, but we don't know if it's skating just to kind
yellow
of
jersey's not a good sign.
No, can he get back for game 2? That'll be that. I think it feels like best case scenario.
All right, like we said, the information held very close to the vest this time of year, so we really don't know when these guys will return. What we do know, at least on paper, heck of a goaltending matchup. Connor Hellebuck, Jake Ottinger, 2 of the United States' best goalies. So we got the Olympics coming up next year. Maybe this is a tryout, so to speak, who gets the number 1 starting gig. But when it comes down to Hellebuck, have we seen enough in the playoffs now to set aside the notion that Connor Hellebuck, his game falls off a little bit come playoff time? Or
not yet.
He still needs to do more?
He still has to he still has to prove, I think, in this series. This is another test for him. Torch, fair or unfair? I mean, goaltending, when you pick that position,
it's a great debate.
Whether you're 8 years old, 18 years old, whatever, right? You know that's part of it. You get judged certain ways. And I think that he still has to come through because he wasn't. We know that he ended up getting a victory with his team in Game 7, but it was dicey before that. And so I still think that there is a road for him to go down to say, all right, I learned from it, and now I'm going to be confident, and now I'm going to be aggressive or a little more aggressive in round 2. So, J-Mo, long way of getting to it, but no, I still think he's got work to do.
Stars for you right now in that position, just based on until you see what you get from Hellebuck?
Well, yeah, and doing the work in the game and watching Ottinger play and how spectacular he was. Right now, yes. Right now,
I think both of those goalies in Game 7s that they had in their series were spectacular after Hellebuck's second period. It was 3-1. He had to just keep his game, the team in the game, to make it 3-3 to go into overtime. He was solid in the overtime, and then Ottinger was down 2-0, and he couldn't give up that third goal. And guess what? He did a great job keeping his team in, and then he won the game. But for Hellebuck, for me, he got 4 wins. That's all that matters. He got 4 wins. Now, guess what? Clean slate. He had a good regular season. A lot of people say it doesn't factor in, but it does.
All right.
I think he's going to be ready for it. And I think, guess what? He has to step up and be the difference in this series if they are going to move on.
All right, we'll see what happens. It's Game 1 coming up on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the Stars getting through that 7-game set with the Colorado Avalanche. What a series that one was. On paper, when the brackets came out, you felt like one of these two teams is moving on and one of these two teams is going home. And both of these two teams in round number 1 could legitimately win Lord Stanley's Cup. In the end, it's the Avs whose season is over. And here is their president, Joe Sakic, talking about the Avs moving forward this offseason.
Listen, if you got Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon, your window's open. And that's why it's important from the management side to when it comes to trade deadlines, you try and do what you can to give them the best opportunity. You're not going to have those players forever. So when you have them, you try and surround them with as good of players as you can and give them that opportunity to do what they do best.
All right, so the window is still open. How wide is that window? Is this like a double hung here? It's insulated with multiple glass? Like, what are we talking about?
What, are we going different price range?
I guess. I don't know.
I would say it's still a pretty good price. Meaning it's a pretty good window. You now feel that you have your goaltender, right? And Blackwood signed for 5 years now. All right. So you have McKinnon. You've got Makar. You know that you've got Devon Toews as well. The question for them is going to be, I don't think you're not keeping Brock Nelson. You have Charlie Coyle for 1 more year, but is he better slotted as a 3C than a 2C? Yes, he is. And so now you're still looking at that 2 slot. And then you're going to have to worry about a few other things. And you don't, as we take a look at their notable upcoming free agents torch. These are a lot of guys that are going. I don't know if any of them would end up coming back right now, but because they need money there, right? They need money for other guys too. The other thing is this. As I look at this team, they're top heavy with those guys. They play them a lot, so they need to figure out a way, I think, to get more of their middle tier guys playing some more minutes at times.
And I think that's what happened in the playoffs. I mean, they made 11 moves this year. That is a lot. That's almost 55% of your team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. And I don't know if they got the impact from those moves that they were expecting. Goaltending, I think they did. But to get that depth scoring to help out the big guys when they're not. And I think when you bring in other players from other teams where they're power play guys like a Nelson, he's used to being on the power play. He doesn't get that power play time. Then it takes away that confidence minutes and being offensive. So I just don't think they got the impact they thought they were going to get.
And like a lot of good teams that go for it because windows are open, they trade away draft capital.
A lot of capital.
They had some nice young players. Richie was one of them we talked about earlier.
All right, you go for it. Sometimes you come up short. Actually, everybody comes up short except one team in the end. All right, that'll do it for us on NHL Tonight. Keep it locked on the NHL Network straight through the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thanks for watching.
I need these items printed by Friday.
Certainly.
Are you for imprint certain?
We are for imprint.
Certainty matters when you need promo gear for gifting clients, customers, and your team. 4imprint.com has items certain to wow.
4imprint for certain.
Nothing scary about Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the #1 longest-lasting AA battery.
Cerakote revolutionized car care with its #1 best-selling rapid ceramic paint sealant. The unmatched gloss, slickness, and shine that you love now comes with an industry-leading 50-wash guarantee.
Introducing Cerakote's next-generation paint sealant, Rapid Ceramic Platinum. Just spray it on and lightly bump it to get incredible shine and professional results that will help your car stay cleaner longer. Look at the difference. With over 60,000 5-star reviews, you can trust Cerakote. Buy today for under $20.
That's $78.29.
I've only got $50. Take out the cheese puffs and the broccoli. I mean, who likes broccoli?
I don't. Only $22.87 to go.
It would be faster with the Empower app. Empower Cash Advance gives you up to $300 instantly. No late fees, interest, or credit checks.
I've got money. Keep the cheese puffs, but leave out the broccoli.
Get Empower Cash Advance up to $300 instantly. Download the Empower app today.
At the concert? And of course, thanks to Game Time.
Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look. It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, even last minute.
You missed his turn at the piñata because you were busy not missing hockey. Watch in-game highlights, stories, and post-game recaps only with the NHL app.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the deal now.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get new uniforms with all the locations. He found great products, uploaded new art, and had boxes sent to all the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Bracket got busted in round one? Missed your chance to fill yours out? So what? Get back in the game with the Stanley Cup Playoffs Second Chance Bracket and take another shot at predicting this year's playoffs.
There's nothing like playoff hockey.
Can you predict who goes on and who goes home? From 8 contenders to the one who lifts the cup. Sign up for your second chance to win an exclusive prize at NHL.com/bracket. Hockey is truly a global sport, no matter how you say it. Nothing beats the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That is old-time hockey right there. You won't see it much better than that. That is a spotlight moment on Broadway. This building is buzzing at the moment. A highlight reel goal! Are you watching this?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to NHL Tonight. Glad to have you aboard here with Torch and Billy. And you were just saying that sometimes these game ones in the second round are very different than game sevens in round number one. They can be a little sleepy at times. Why?
Well, I mean, especially coming off of some of the most epic games we've had in the game sevens this past weekend, and then you've got to reset and say, oh, we got to do this all over again. It's tough for these teams sometimes, but it's all about figuring out how, you don't need to have your best game in game one. You got to get back into the series. And now the other thing, after playing between 5 and 7 games against the other opponent, now you're figuring out a whole other opponent. So sometimes that's a reason why some of these game ones, they take a little time to get going.
Yeah, and they're coming off 5 days rest. Both these teams won in 5-game series, so it's for them moving forward and get into this type of playoff atmosphere round one. I mean, game one, it's going to be tough to get right back into it.
All right, Hurricanes, Capitals, game one, round two from D.C. Our nation's capital, the Hurricanes and the Capitals, and there is the Capitol building. Freddie Henderson back for the Hurricanes after the injury he suffered in game number 4 of the first round against the New Jersey Devils. Did not play the closeout game of game number 5, but in game 1 here in this one, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Tom Wilson wide open in front, but can't connect.
There's a real good stretch breakout play. It's just Wilson had to stretch a little bit more, maybe 2 inches more. Couldn't connect.
All right, Caps turn it over here. Taylor Hall gets this puck, shoots. But Logan Thompson with the save.
Great Carolina forecheck, taking away time and space, creates turnovers, which creates scoring chances.
Penalty Sebastian Aho high-sticking Alex Alexiev here. So the Caps going to work on the power play. Halfway through the man advantage, Ovechkin, the one-timer. Anderson saves that one after a scramble in front.
Good net front presence, so not one but two Capitals in front. Also a defender for the Carolina Hurricanes. Makes Freddie Anderson have to find it, but also battle for the puck.
All right, we play on. Shane Gostisbehere, his shot here, tipped by Logan Stankoven, and you heard it right off the post.
Yeah, they're putting the puck to the net, trying to get some side tips with Martin's stick.
5 minutes left to go in the first. Brendan Duhaime called for holding here against Dmitry Orlov. So the Canes going to work on a power play.
Orlov, the former Cap, tries to turn the corner, can't.
Hall's shot deflected by Stankoven. Thompson making that stop.
Doing the job, clearing out. I mean, there's nobody in between the shooter and the goalie there, so he sees a clean shot. Stankoven tries to get a stick on it, which he does, and ramps it up into Thompson's chest.
Canes, nothing doing on that power play. We play on. A minute to go here in the first period. Duhaime finds Matt Roy in front, but Anderson gets the better of that one.
Just trying to lead the player just a little bit. He reaches to it, but there's really not much for him to shoot at because good presence by Freddie Anderson, and he's in tight to him.
Scoreless after one. Period number 2, Canes turn it over to Dubois, and he hits the iron.
Yeah, this is a great look, and Anderson comes out and challenges and gets a little bit lucky with the post.
Here comes our first goal of this game. Caps 2-on-1, Alexei Protas. What a shot there.
Love this shot coming down. The big man turns on the Jets as he gets the puck through the neutral zone. He's looking past, or at least with his head up the whole time here, Torch. He doesn't give away when the point of release is going to happen. The big man opens up, goes just over the right pad.
Great release and a great sail job.
There's Thompson with a save from the Seth Jarvis shot. Caps still on top 1-0.
Yeah, he's still, not getting screened going to the net and just reads it and makes a nice glove save.
All right, under 8 to go, middle frame. Anthony Beauvillier gets this great chance here off the turnover, but Anderson, again, keeps it a 1-goal game.
We did not see much of this, though, JMO. The good forecheck from the Washington Capitals. We saw that from the Canes, though.
How about that save? Thompson, all glove, no love for Stankoven.
100%. They're matching each other, the Great Dane and Thompson.
How about that? Svechnikov off the crossbar.
Just looking, I mean, he had 5 goals last series, and that's the guy you want to have the puck in that situation.
All right, 1-0 Wash. Heading to period number 3. Early on, Jackson Blake trips. John Carlson here. Caps back to the power play. Power play winding down. Hurricanes nearly a shorthanded goal there after the play. Alex Ovechkin slashes Jordan Staal, so the Canes get a power play.
It was an attempt to have a tip, but also a puck off pad with a weak side D engage and Orlov. A good heady play.
Taylor Hall, a chance there on the power play. Logan Thompson keeps it a 1-goal game.
Yeah, Washington needs a strong penalty kill if they're going to win this series.
Minute later, Seth Jarvis, that one off the post. The Canes had 5 posts in this game.
Again, there's traffic though in front, to Torch's point. That's when he has a harder time seeing it.
Big turnover there, and the Canes make them pay. Logan Stankoven, 3rd goal of the playoffs, and the Hurricanes tied at 1.
This is what they do well. They take away time and space and force you to make errors, but this is a fantastic release by Stankoven. Look at this. Beats him right over the pad and underneath the glove.
Love the work by Kotkaniemi there, too. Getting the puck after the forecheck, putting it through 2 defenders.
All right, great chance to take the lead. Ryan Leonard in all alone and goes backhand. Freddie Anderson stays with him.
He seems to lose it when he goes right there. It goes under his stick. The stick comes above it. He just can't corral it to roof it past the blocker side Torch.
Anderson looks great, moving smooth in the net.
Big moment in this game. Jacob Chychrun high stick Svechnikov off the face-off. So the Canes to the power play.
Yeah, gets beat to the inside here, and he's got to be ready to jump on those edges off face-offs.
All right, minute to go in this game. A scrum ensues after the whistle. This Carolina power play, less than powerful. Not much doing on this power play at the end of regulation.
No, very stagnant, very hesitant with the puck. I don't know if they were looking for the perfect shot, because they were shooting the rest of the game, Torch, but not on that power play. It happened after.
No, they had no shots on that last power play, and I mean, that's what you got to do and follow the theme of the game.
All right, so we go to overtime in OT from low to high. Put it on net, good things happen. Jacob Slavin, the hero in game number 1. 2-1, Canes win it in overtime.
That's what happens when you play the Canes. They get the puck at the point. They're either going to do one-time shot off release, wrist shot, or they're going to go D to D with the shot. And look at the little traffic here by Jarvis. Takes away Thompson's eyes, and then it just finds its way through him for the game winner.
Classic Carolina Hurricane goal. It starts from one point. They get it behind the net. It's not even a change the point of attack like we always talk about Florida. You have like the hard rims. This is more of a use the back of the net, reset, then to go low to high to the other side. Torch's point, sometimes they go D to D. This time Slavin, though, what I liked about it, even though he's a left shot D on that side, he's ready to release it. He pumps it, and there is a bevy of traffic in front of Logan Thompson.
All right, Hurricanes get it done in game one, 2-1 in overtime. Look at the shots, 33-14. Washington with just 3 shots in the third period and 0 in overtime. Let's hear from the guy who got the OT winner, Jaccob Slavin.
Jacob, first career playoff overtime goal. What are you going to remember most about it?
I think just how hard we battled all night long. We had a game plan. We stuck to it. It finally paid off there in the third, and it was Sankey's big goal there. And we played hard, so I'll remember that. I remember the win.
You said stuck with it. Even when you guys were trailing, how deserving do you guys feel like you deserve this game?
Yeah, we had good ozone pressure. Our forwards were working hard, backtracking, everything. We were breaking the puck out pretty well, and so a lot of ozone time. And obviously their goalie made some really big saves tonight and stood on his head. But we just got to keep hammering the nail.
Every time I talk to you guys, you're such a confident group. Where does that confidence come from?
I think we just, as a group, it's just the way we play the game. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's hard to play against, and everything's going in every chance we get, and just trying to grind teams down.
Appreciate you, Jacob. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, we had an Infinity playoff road win, courtesy of the guy we just heard from, Jaccob Slavin. Second goal of these playoffs, first career overtime playoff goal for him. Couldn't have come at a better time. Game number 1, and Torch, this was kind of a theme from Carolina in this game. Low to high and just put shots on net.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You see Orlov gets it. He rims it behind the net. Usually there's 2 Carolina players there to play a little cycle game behind there. But then he takes the puck from low to high, goes to the point, and they get the triangle in front of the goalie to create that traffic lane and tip lanes.
Yeah, what I didn't notice is that Orlov actually went off the ice right after he passed the puck right there. That's why Slavin had no option. He wasn't going to go D. Good call. Right there. And he ends up putting on, as you take a look at the overtime goal scored by defenseman. Also notice at number 3, Matt Roy, he has the puck bounced by him. Otherwise, he was kind of there. He couldn't get it. And it was a beautiful stop by Martinook to, eliminate the puck from getting past him. He may have been trying to get it originally to Seth Jarvis. Regardless, the puck ends up going to Slavin, who literally he gets rid of it, and that's the most important thing. He doesn't allow, and we're going to talk about this in a second, he doesn't allow the defense to reset and to attack and therefore block a shot.
That's right. And that was probably the slowest shot out of 94 shot attempts for the Canes tonight. And it went in. So that tells you a lot. Just get the puck there before they get there.
94 shot attempts. You said it, and you said it too. The Canes, that's their game. Volume, volume, volume. And if you're Washington, it was blocks, blocks, blocks. This is the chess match that we're going to see throughout this series, isn't it?
Well, if you're Carolina, you're saying this is what we want to see all series, given the way that they played and how much they kept this very high-scoring, potentially high-scoring offense of the Caps back in their own zone. And offensive players, look, Torch, it takes a special breed to really want to block shots, but especially guys that want to score, they're willing to, but they really don't want to when it's all said and done. But they were committed in this game. 37 of the 94 attempts in this game came from the Canes defensemen. It shows the low to high play, but it also shows how quickly they're willing to shoot. Now, let's give credit, though, to the Caps for willing to block so many shots in this game.
Well, Tom Wilson said it best for the series. They're predictable. And guess what they got? They got predictability all night long. They were the better team. They came in. I was really surprised, Billy, that after 6 days off, how well prepared they were in that game tonight. They outplayed them. It was 11 shots to 3 in the first period. So they came for the 2 points, and they deserved it.
I wouldn't call it, you agree with me or don't, I wouldn't call it a very physical game, except for the fact that the Caps physically had to block a lot of shots. So they're still going to be scoring.
Well, when you're blocking shots, you're defending. So it takes away a lot of your energy. And, I mean, you got to give hats off to the Caps. They did defend and block shots, but they didn't get to their game. They're going to probably have to stretch the ice some more. They're probably going to have to, like we talked about, jump on those cycle down plays. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. If not, you're chasing the puck all night.
How do you think Freddie Anderson looked? Obviously injured in that first-round matchup against the Devils. Didn't play in game number 5. Couple of days off.
Look good. He looked, didn't have a lot of shots.
Right, 13
There's
saves.
something to be said to that, though, J-Mo,
Sometimes
right?
tougher, right?
Focus, right? For the goal that Protas scored, I thought was an absolutely gorgeous shot. So nothing there to say, hey, he could have done better. I really liked his presence in this game, his presentation. Loved his battle on that play. So for the game one, I'd say really good for Freddie.
Yeah, for the shots he got tested on, he did a good job. That's the bottom line. He didn't really leave any trash out front. No rebounds, no tip-ins. You know, he really was on top of the crease all night long. So now he controlled the puck. The puck didn't control him tonight.
Yeah, both goalies really good. 929 save percentage for Freddie Anderson, 939 for Logan Thompson. In the end,
5 posts.
Yeah,
5 posts.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, iron and kinds up until the end, and then that goal went in. 2-1, Carolina getting it done in overtime. Let's go back to Washington, D.C., hear from the lone goal scorer for the Caps in this Game 1 loss, Alexei Protas.
There's going to be a long series, and we have a second game on Thursday, and like I said, we got to be ready. It's only start. Frustrating, but we know we got better, and that's good news, and we will be better.
It seemed like we were just a little bit off the whole night. Like we had a couple of really good looks, couple bars, a couple of chances we're getting in behind their D, and that's just not on the tape or whatever.
Vogues, if we sat here and went through the whole game from breakout to getting through the neutral zone to forecheck to wall play, we could. It wasn't good, and that's the bottom line. Our entire game was not good, and we'll, like I said, we'll regroup and we'll get ready for Game 2.
Puck came up to me at the point there, and I was just trying to get it to the net. I knew we had some numbers at the net. I didn't know it went in until I saw Jordan Stalzy coming with his arms up, yelling at me. So, it's a huge win as a team.
I think it's just trust in the game plan. That's what our game is all about, getting in his eyes and lots of shot volume. That's what Rod preaches. So sometimes not everything's going to go in, so you got to be patient, and worked out well for us tonight.
I know Freddie had the one breakaway there, and I don't know if he got credit for a save, but at least you could tell he was on it, and so that was a huge one for us. But yeah, he knows it. He's been here long enough that you got to stay focused, and I thought he did a good job.
Up next, it's the late game out west. Mark Stone breaking the ice in this series. It's Game 1 in Vegas between the Golden Knights and Oilers. Full highlights from that one after this.
Playoff Road Wins is presented by Infinity. Take luxury to new heights in the all-new 2025 Infinity QX80.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
This is the story of the one. The one knows that when the big game is days away, the unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a solid game plan and a teammate like Grainger that she can rely on to deliver the product she needs when she needs it, she's confident that she will always win the day. And her team will do the same. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bracket got busted in round one? Missed your chance to fill yours out? So what? Get back in the game with the Stanley Cup Playoffs Second Chance Bracket. Sign up for your second chance to win an exclusive prize at NHL.com/bracket. It's time to stir up the conversation. See how we rank the plays of the first round.
Loads it up, scores!
Tune in for the results of the plays of the first round on Top Shelf. Friday, 4:30 Eastern on NHL Network.
Game one between the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a rematch of the 2023 Western Conference second round. The Knights got the better of that one. They won that series in 6 games. Alex Pietrangelo out for the Golden Knights in game one due to an illness. Jack Eichel and company ready to rock and roll here in the second round. Opening seconds of the first period, the puck around the wall here comes right out to Jack Eichel, who shoots, and Calvin Pickard makes the stop.
Really nice play by Carlson to tip it off the rim, torch to the slot area, but a good save.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins called for a high stick here. Double minor, so Vegas gets a 4-minute power play early on in game number one. 30 seconds into that power play, Shea Theodore with this one shoots. Mark Stone gets a piece. Golden Knights up 1-0.
Yeah, this is fantastic rotation. Watch Stone. He waits till it gets to Theodore, then times it. Great tip by Carlson. A little bit of puck luck going off the Stone skate here. You'll see it here. Nothing Pickard can do right here. But that's what happens when you're in front of the net, causing traffic.
Mark Stone, third goal of these playoffs. The double deflection on that one. Nothing Pickard can do. 1-0 Vegas. 5 minutes into the first. Trent Frederick off the iron.
He's going to find the puck, and in one motion, Frederick's got a good shot. Saw it for a couple of years at the Bruins. Releases it quickly, but the Post won that one.
All right, almost halfway through the first period. Still 1-0 Vegas. Eichel to Stone. He's got 2 tonight, and the Golden Knights have a 2-0 lead.
Patience and poise on this entrance. Perry tries to make the slide. He waits him out. Fantastic finish by Pickard. Tough one-on-one trying to make that save.
All right, that makes it 2-0. Nobody celebrates a goal quite like Mark Stone. He's pumped up. 3.5 to go here. Period number one. McDavid to Corey Perry. And the Worm cuts the deficit in half.
Yeah, the rush game started to get going by the Edmonton Oilers. Good middle drive by Perry, who then waits. And I just love how he's got stick on the ice. And the momentum, when he gets it, takes one stride. The momentum of Hill takes him right. Perry goes to the other side, empty net for him to put it in.
All right, 2-1 after one. Opening seconds of the second, Adam Henrique, and that one also off the post.
Yeah, this is where speed is tough to defend. They got to back off, and he gets a good look, and Henrique just gets it right off the crossbar.
It's a game of inches. 5 minutes into the period, Nicholas Waugh called for the holding here, so the Oilers on a power play. 30 seconds into this power play. Draisaitl around, looking. McDavid, nothing.
Well, nothing because Hill with a good save on this one as he reads the play. Looking right, powers left, stays on the knees, but he gets across, stays big. This guy, you know, he can score from anywhere, right? But Hill's able to match him.
All right, another penalty called on this one. Zach Whitecloud called for tripping. Edmonton on the power play. McDavid comes in, shoots, and Hill making the stop on this one.
Yeah, he was dominant in the second period. Only reason why they went in with the lead after 2.
Oilers can't score on that man advantage. So we head to period number 3. It's a 2-1 game. 1 minute in. McDavid to Bouchard. The bomb, and watch this one. Leon Draisaitl. How cheeky is this? Out of midair, and this was so intentional.
This was unbelievable. All right, so you see again, speed pushes back. Puck comes off the block, off the glove, but the skill, the hand-eye coordination, and the headiness torch of Draisaitl to do it is off the charts. It's unbelievable, Jim.
Hockey sense incredible.
This guy's good at bumper pool. Leon Draisaitl with the game-tying goal, and then you see Connor Brown, great chance here, actually called for interference on this play. So the Golden Knights go to a power play here late in this game. Stone to Tomas Hertl, but Pickard with a big stop.
Yeah, this is where Hurdle likes to hold his office and gets a good look here, but look at Picard, comes out and smothers this shot.
All right, big save in this game. That's on the Vegas power play. Oilers kill off the power play, so we're back to 5-on-5. 3 minutes to go. Evander Kane to Zach Hyman. Waits, fires, buries it. Go-ahead goal.
All right, so there's a turnover. Edmonton gets it back. A quick up. We talked about the rush game, Torch. Look at the execution. Middle drive, kick it wide. More middle drive, and then a shot short side.
That's what you call proper execution. Once you kick out that puck and you drive the net, now the defensemen have to sit back. It opens up the lane for Hyman.
What a shot.
Third goal of the playoffs for Zach Hyman gives the Oilers a 1-goal lead. And how about this play? Connor Brown, the block, tosses it to himself, makes the shimmy move, in on a breakaway, and then goes glove side for the 4th goal of the playoffs for him, 4-2. Edmonton has a little breathing room.
Yeah, great hands there, catching the rebound off a Bouchard on the block shot. But look at the finish, just like he's been there about 10 times.
This was another, this was a high-level play, and you saw speed. We always talk about the speed of the McDavids and, those guys, but how about Connor Brown bringing it speed?
Connor Brown can certainly fire it live. Skates with the best of them. 4-2, time winding down, and there is the final horn in game number 1 of round number 2. Connor McDavid giving the congratulations to Calvin Pickard, who got the start in game 1, and he's rewarded with the 4-2 win. Draisaitl with a goal and a helper. Connor McDavid with 2 points in the victory as well. Let's hear from Corey Perry, who had a big goal in the 4-2 victory.
Corey, down 2-0 on the road against a team like Vegas. Was patience the key in order to get this team back into it and eventually win it?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Good way to put it. I mean, we're kind of, all over the place in the first 10 minutes. They got a, 4-minute power play kind of set us back a little bit. But I think, after that we found our footing, found our game, started moving the puck, making plays, and then we played well defensively and kept the puck over net.
How did your goal kind of help settle everything down and maybe give everyone a belief that being down wasn't the worst spot to be in, with the idea that you could come back?
Yeah. I think there's 8 or 10 minutes left, and we just needed one to get us going. One before the end of the period, and I mean, those two guys make some great plays and found me back door, and I just did just made a play around the goalie and put in the open net. I mean, it was pretty easy for me.
See, they're a stingy team. They're very good defensively, and getting down by 3 is not a good recipe against them. And they didn't have a ton of looks in the second, and we could have scored 1 or 2 in the second as well.
When we're playing our best, I think we're fast, and when we're fast, we wear the other team down, and it's hard to generate because you're tired and you have to change. And I think for us, we have to just get to that game right from the start and make it easier on ourselves, not being down in games. But I think we have experience to win games in a lot of different ways and in a lot of untraditional ways. So anytime you get a win, it's a big day, and we got to, take what we did in the second and third and do it from the first.
I know we are the oldest team, so those players have seen a lot, and a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, and they know that during the playoffs things fluctuate. There's a lot of things that can stress out the team, and no matter what happens, I think we handle it really well. And tonight's an excellent example. We played a really good second period. We have nothing to show for it, and there was no panic, and we just came out in the third and continued business.
Time now for Hot on Ice, presented by Icy Hot. The big boys coming through in a big way yet again for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl had a goal and a helper in this one. He's got 12 points now in these Stanley Cup playoffs, Torch.
Well, what can you say? What he doesn't do. I mean, he's all over the ice. He's all scoring positions, just making key plays at key times of the game. Power play, they probably could have, they had a great chance on the power play tonight, and they just know how to find each other on their give-go game all the time.
I can't get over that play. I mean, so he knows the shot's been taken, but then he has presence of mind to look up, and he's thinking as it's coming down, I just got to get it towards the net, because he understands that bodies are moving. The goaltender is out of the crease just a bit. Torchy said the hockey sense. It just fantastic stuff. And maybe it wasn't a typical game for McDavid and Draisaitl, meaning how we see them score usually on the power play and connect like it, but they came through for their team when it mattered most.
Certainly. This team getting used to the comebacks. 5th comeback win of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Oilers, more than any other team left in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Zach Hyman with the big go-ahead goal in period number 3. That was the eventual game winner, 3-2. They get one more to win it 4-2, but you guys are going to tell us straight what you saw on that play.
Couple of things that make up this play. And as we're going to start it with the puck on the stick of the Vegas Golden Knights forward here in Saad. Now we're going to stop it right here. All right, just to identify him again. This is where the puck is right now. But look at the numbers, folks, around him in white sweaters. Torch, there's Srini's. You like to say there's the triangle. Don't move it yet, because what are his options? His being Saad's options right now, Torch. He's isolated.
Yeah, you don't want to go on your backhand here to the middle here. You want to just probably get a shot on net and go drive there. That's not a place to try to make a pass through the triangle right now. Especially, look at the clock. That's the clock I'm talking about. 3:13 left in the game. Don't give them an opportunity to go into their game neutral zone transition.
All right, before we roll, just look. There's nowhere for him to go. There's coverage right here. So Saad doesn't do anything. Now go ahead and roll it, and we're going to show you the good stick to the puck. Now the puck's going to come wide. All right, hold it right here. Now you see Klingberg's going to get it. You see you can't see in the play, but Nugent Hopkins is way up here. Go ahead and roll it. Now we're going to show upon entry. There's this pass, and hold it right here as it's kicked wide. I love this here by Nugent Hopkins. He kicks it wide because now you end up seeing the 2 defenders here, Torch. And what that's going to leave, before we roll it again, are these 2 Edmonton Oilers players, Hyman coming in and Nurse. Hyman's going to come into this here. We're going to go ahead and roll it. We're going to freeze it one more time. Stop it right now. Look at the play. Perfect, guys. That's awesome right there. The way Hyman gets the puck, the head being up is spectacular. And this is, I think it is so important for kids to realize, especially the head is up. He's not looking at the puck. And now you've got 2 defenders that are being pushed back by one center drive. Go ahead and roll.
That's what it's all about right there. Nugent Hopkins on the drive entry.
When you drive back like that, as you said, we're watching the game, it forces the D to do what next?
Oh, you have to decide which one is he going to get by the first D, or is the second D had to take 2 steps over, which opened up the lane for Hyman to get a clear shot to the top corner.
And Hyman doesn't try and do anything except ticket it on that short side above the goal because he knows the defenseman hand is in front of him right there. A beautiful defensive play, a beautiful get up or quick up by Klingberg, and then a gorgeous. You couldn't execute a better odd man rush.
You're basically seeing 3-on-2 entry on the offensive side, what not to do, and then you've seen how to do an entry on the game-winning goal side.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Exactly.
The ugly is us sitting up here on the desk, but I like that.
I resemble
that. The Edmonton Oilers have multiple Connors. McDavid obviously gets a lot of the spotlight, deservedly so, but how about Connor Brown? Really good in last year's Stanley Cup final, really good here in Game 1 of the second round. How about that goal to make it 4-2? That was pretty.
Solid 200-foot player, but great penalty killer, too. You'll see in a couple of clips here. This is on the goal. Great job here using his speed. Nice little cutback against the grain there on the defenseman. Incredible finish. But I love his tracking during the game, creating turnovers defensively, and then going on offense. He's definitely playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Connor he made a difference last year. You mentioned it. And remember, he struggled to score last year a ton, but he stuck with it. And he looks like a different player, right? And he looks like a player that's gone through the playoffs right now. And this game that he had tonight was huge for this team.
Yeah, well said. He looks like he's got a lot of confidence right now. All right, Oilers get it done 4-2. Let's head back to Vegas and hear from the losing side of things. Coach Bruce Cassidy for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, I don't think it was terrible. I really don't. I don't think we executed well enough. That's different than puck management. Offensively, we didn't get the looks. We need to make one more pass, or we need to win one more battle. And then when we did, some of our better looks, we didn't have a ton of them. The second period, we had 2 or 3 shot looks that are off net. We didn't even force them to make a save. In the third, the same thing happens. We do create a few turnovers, get it into the middle, and we're off net. So first of all, we got to hit the net with our chances. Might go in, and it might be a rebound situation. It's going to be positive. Let's put it that way. And we didn't do very well with that. So puck management, I thought it was okay for the most part. there was other areas of the game that, we didn't defend hard. We got beat one-on-one a number of times, and our rush coverage at times got, their late guys got good looks. Some of that is a product of their top-end guys can back you off. And we saw that on the second goal. They got a lucky bounce. That's how it started. They back you off with McDavid's speed, and we weren't able to put out a fire there. They elevated their game today, and I don't think we did halfway through the game. I think it's that simple. They're just better than us, and you could almost on the bench see that we needed to get string some positive shifts together to start the third, right? Because we got out of the second, but they probably felt pretty good about it. They're like, hey, we're right there. And then they get a lucky one to start. So now they're really on. So we needed to build our game from there better and get all four lines getting rolling and getting playing. But they did that better than us the second half of the game.
All right, so the Oilers win Game 1. Game 2 coming up 2 nights from now on Thursday night back in Vegas, 9:30 Eastern Time before the series shifts north back to Edmonton for Games 3 and 4. When we come back here on NHL Tonight, we look ahead to Wednesday night and if the Maple Leafs can take the first 2 games on home ice in the best-of-7 series against the reigning champs.
Hot on Ice is presented by Icy Hot Contrast Therapy. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last.
And this is an important step for all our employees.
Blah, 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 blah.
Certain you're a mule?
Yeah.
Are you for imprint certain?
Oh boy.
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
To get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, you've got to check.
Checking for a haircut on the Great Clips app. You could win a trip to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Enter on the Great Clips app for your shot to win. No helmet required. Great Clips, official hair salon of the NHL.
My name is Mike Hammond, founder of Cigna Relief. Much of my career has been working in construction. I love outdoors and horses. That active lifestyle is what has caused my body to hurt. I didn't want to let this affect my family or my life, and that's what motivated me to create a team to build the Cigna Relief Patch, clinically proven to reduce the impact of pain. The patch is a game changer. No creams, no pills, no wires. The patch is reusable and there's a real money-back guarantee. Whether it's your neck, back, knee, shoulder, or just aches and pains, this patch can give you your life back. When I gave my best friend a patch with tears in his eyes, he said it was the first time in 16 years he did not hurt. Join the hundreds of thousands who found relief. I'm asking you to try the Cigna Relief Patch today by going to our website. If you're thinking about buying, it means you need one. You have nothing to lose. I promise the patch works.
You've been lied to. They said if you want it more than the other guy, it's yours. But out here, there's no such thing as wanting it more than the other guy. Oh, really? But it's your childhood dream, you say. What do you think this guy was dreaming about? Or this guy? Or him? So forget every motivational poster you've ever read and know this. Everyone is going to give the exact same thing. Everything. Sadly, windshield chips can turn into windshield cracks. But at least you can go to Safelight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Sweet.
Safelight can come to you for free. Don't wait. Go to Safelight.com and schedule now.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the deal now.
We have history tonight. A player for the ages. Another historic chapter. The Great Eight is the greatest goal scorer in National Hockey League history. For the first time, the Columbus Blue Jackets win outdoors.
This is what we're here for. This is exactly what it's all about.
The playoffs are a time to sharpen your focus and get your game face on.
In the playoffs, it's such a vacuum and you're so focused.
Get your game face on. NHL Now playoff coverage, weekdays 5 Eastern on NHL Network.
All right, we are back on NHL Tonight, taking a look at the game summary from Game 1, where the Panthers lost to the Maple Leafs 5-4 in Game number 1. They were outshot 30-29. You can see the Leafs 0 for 5 on the power play. The hits in favor of the Panthers, the blocked shots in favor of the Maple Leafs. Here is Sam Bennett on his incident with Anthony Stolarz in Game 1.
Yeah, I heard that he went to the hospital last night, and Stolarz is a good friend of mine. I reached out to him. He responded, and obviously never want to see an injury like that. But from my point of view, I'm just taking the puck to the net. I didn't even know that we made contact until after, and I mean, I'm on the power play. I'm trying to score. I'm taking the puck to the net, and that's really all there was to it.
All right, Torch, there is the apology from Sam Bennett, or somewhat of an apology for his former teammate and good friend Anthony Stolarz. What do you think? No discipline coming from this one, so what do you make of the now incident that we saw in Game number 1?
I think it was a nice gesture on his part to talk about it. He didn't talk about it last night, so just waited for the league to review it and give their opinion, and nothing's been said about it. So it's a situation. He's going to the net, and it's a bad result. He hits him in the head, and also coming off a shot to the head from Reinhart earlier. So it's a big loss if he doesn't come back in tomorrow night.
Yeah, very big loss. We'll see. We'll know soon enough, right? Joe Woll's going to be the starter, but no call on the ice either. I think if there was a call made on the ice, it probably tempers a lot of it. We talked about it post-game, sitting in these very sets, about how we thought the league would look at it. We know that they would. They look at all those things. Right. They deemed that it wasn't anything more. Let's hope that Stolarz is right. That's the biggest thing.
All right, so we don't know the status of Stolarz for Game 2. Even if they know, we're not going to find out until closer to game time. That's the way it is in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So let's assume Joe Woll gets the start coming up in Game 2. What did you make of him being thrust in action in Game 1, and what's your confidence level for him going forward in the series?
He's kind of this very mellow, cerebral guy. I don't feel like it's bothering him, but yet that's coming in cold. Like, now he has a couple of days to think about it, Torch.
Yep.
Does that change things? I wasn't a former goalie, so I don't know. But, you get that time to think about it, and maybe that makes things different. Now, he hadn't played in the game since mid-April, April 17th, in an end-of-season game for the Leafs. They thought they were going to have a tandem with these two guys, right. But Stolarz took over after he came back from injury, and now Woll comes in as definitely the number 2 this season. Now I got to look at it, and I got to say, does he have the presence early on in the game? Instead of kind of hoping to make plays, does he make the big saves for this team? I thought he was fine in Game 1. Yeah, Florida came out really good in the third period. I don't blame him for that. And in the end, this is the biggest thing. He made some big saves at the end of that game. I think that could give him confidence if he ends up starting Game 2.
Yeah, and he has a day of getting some shots today. They don't usually have a full practice on their day off. Then they'll get the morning skate tomorrow. He's just the type of player, though. He played 40-plus games in the regular season. So we got to factor that in, that he was one of the big reasons why they're in the playoffs and why they got home ice. I mean, 40 games is a lot to split. I mean, if he's the backup guy, I'm pretty happy thinking about that if I'm Berube going into the game tomorrow night if he's my guy. I mean, he got his feet wet. He said he was chilled, which you love to hear as a goalie.
Very mellow.
That's what it's all about,
like
right?
Surfer dude after the game.
And exactly. And he did a good job. We talked about last night. I thought it was okay. Mm-hmm. The tipping goal was a great goal. The other one, top shelf. So he did do a good job. He settled down after Chief called the timeout. Fantastic job, and settled and got the win. And that's what it's all about. Just get the win. You didn't expect to play the game, and he came up big time.
All right. Florida Panthers did not get the win in Game 1. What did you think about Bob's performance? Just okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the team.
Needs to be better?
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought he got better as the game went on, just like the rest of the team. I didn't love early on in the game. Look, Sergei Bobrovsky has been known to give up a bevy of goals at times, Torch. This is nothing uncommon. And yet then, he's been around forever. He's now won Vezina's multiple. He's won Stanley Cup. This is a guy that is a Hall of Famer to be. I mean, when it's all said and done, you got to have trust in him. You got to have belief in him. He's been there, done it before. Game one, that last game doesn't bother him at all. He has forgotten about that now.
Yeah, he's the type of goalie, though. I think until last night's game, they had a lot of traffic around him. I think Florida's got to do a better job. Tavares did a great job on Nylander's goal, taking away his sight lines. He had to kind of bend down a little bit and look. So they got to do a better job, I think, going in. The first two periods, Toronto completely dominated Florida at their game, which you talked about last night. They got Floridized. Mm-hmm. So it's something that they have to understand. They got to come out and play a better checking game. But Toronto, in the third period, sat back, which you've seen. They gave him the neutral zone. They gave him a lot of speed, and they got back into the game to make it 4-3. But Barber, we all know he's going to bounce back. He lost a game one last year, 4-1, 5-1 with the open netter, and then we've seen what the result was from that series.
All right, what are you looking forward to seeing in game number 2, just based off some of the adjustments after game 1?
Well, Florida has to come out with a better game. I mean, you didn't expect that. They're passing, they're skating, and then just getting into the offensive zone. They got to get pucks in there, and they got to get to work. But Toronto countered. They did the job on the walls.
I loved what Toronto did early on. They initiated forecheck. They initiated body checks. They were great in that regard. Let's not forget that for Florida, they get Aaron Ekblad back. That allows now them to reset their deep pairs. Does that help?
They get their matchup
front presence, and they get more comfortable, even the road team, more comfortable matchups as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Panthers trying to avoid going 0-2, down 0-2 in a series for the first time since 2023 Stanley Cup Final against Vegas. They ended up losing the Stanley Cup Final in 5 games. When we come back here on NHL Tonight, it's Game 1 in Dallas on Wednesday night. And what a goaltending matchup it should be. Hellebuck versus Ottinger. That and some other things to watch in that series coming up after this.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the Superlight 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
This is Noom GLP-1, and this is Angelia.
I really did not know weight gain was going to be an issue through menopause. The Noom program and the meds work hand in hand. I'm Angelia, and I have lost 17 pounds with Noom.
Get started at Noom.com.
Bracket got busted in round 1? Missed your chance to fill yours out? So what? Get back in the game with the Stanley Cup Playoffs Second Chance Bracket and take another shot at predicting this year's playoffs.
There's nothing like playoff hockey.
Can you predict who goes on and who goes home? From 8 contenders to the one who lifts the cup. Sign up for your second chance to win an exclusive prize at NHL.com/bracket. Friday, Team USA kicks off their quest for gold at the Men's World Championships. Watch Tage Thompson, Clayton Keller, and the rest of Team USA when they take on Denmark. Friday at 2 Eastern on NHL Network.
We'll be happy to see you back. So happy to see you back. Good luck to us.
Game 7 of this first-round series between Colorado and Dallas.
Focus on our process, right? And let's play with exceptional habits tonight.
We haven't played our best game yet. We've saved it for tonight because that's what great teams do. I know you've probably been waiting a long time, but don't knock me over right away, eh? Why not, OC? Why not, OC?
Played by O'Connor. He centers one. They score! Yeah. Josh Manson!
Let's go, let's go!
Granted in all kinds of room. He scores! Down low. Johnston scores! Granted again!
It's only a start, though, you know.
All right, so the Stars and Jets moving on to face one another in round number 2. That series getting underway on Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern Time. Game 2, Friday, 9:30 Eastern Time before the series shifts to Dallas. Matinee action, 4:30 Eastern Time on Sunday. Should be a fun one in that one. Where do you think these two teams are at emotionally, coming off these Game 7 unbelievable comebacks that we saw on consecutive nights, Saturday and Sunday? A couple of days to maybe get those emotions back in check, but what do you think Game 1 looks like on Wednesday night?
Well, if it's anything like some of these other games we saw, a little bit of a chess match, perhaps, if only because that's not uncommon. The first round, everybody believes they've got a chance, right? Absolutely. And they do, because the first round, especially if you get a hot goalie, we all know what can happen there. Big-time upsets, we've seen it for the most part last couple of years. However, these teams are coming off epic, not just awesome, but epic Game 7s. Epic third period and overtime of Game 7 that happened, I know it's a funny word to use, organically, meaning you can't replicate it. You can't all of a sudden tell yourself, you're going to be the same level come period 1 of Game 1 of round 2. Just isn't going to happen. So I think, long way of getting to, I think it's going to be more of a, all right, we know we're going to be in it. Let's see what our opponent's about here. Let's build it up. You don't have that animosity, that hatred or anything, but it'll get going probably by the end of the game, if not Game 2.
Yeah, especially the Jets. They played some big minutes. Like Pionk had 46 minutes in a double overtime, so it's rest, hydrate, and recover. But they're going to have to get involved pretty quick here. But one thing for them is they're lucky the game's at home, so they had no travel. But 2 big series, like you said, epic, legendary. Probably one of the best weekends I've ever watched hockey working here at the network. So it was pretty exciting. So I just think overall, both teams are going to have a feel-out first period, and then the engines will get going because they know where they're going next. You go to conference finals. So you got to, you can't be giving up a free game here, so you better be ready.
Be interesting to see how physical it is. And that's part of the intensity part, right? Yeah. Because, I guess, especially that St. Louis-Winnipeg series, holy smokes, was that physical.
Does the physicality favor one of these two teams in this matchup more so than the other one?
Maybe the healthier team.
Yeah, I guess. But that's a big thing, right? It's a war of attrition. The deeper you go in these playoffs, and injuries always play a big storyline, and it feels like, Torch, that Dallas might be on the better side of that just because we know that they're getting bodies back that they didn't have in round number 1. Sounds like Robertson is closer than Haskin at this point. Maybe we see Robo in game number 1. On the flip side, you got some big boys out and no real timetables for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, you look at that line that he was practicing on today. It's a big line. You have Ben and Marchment. That whole line is 6'3". Then you got Rantanen with Hintz. They're 6'3". I mean, they've got some big forwards, and guess what? They can skate. I mean, those guys can really skate that puck and carry it to the neutral zone, so I'm looking forward to it. With the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, they got some big bodies back there.